Hello, this is David Gottfried, and this is part 3 of my essay on the great Trumpian role reversal. Well, today's liberals, in their hostility toward Russia, evince some of the stupidity that had been the preserve of the right in the last century. Very simply, they cannot believe that alleged Russian aggressiveness can be the result of anything other than congenital Russian nastiness. First, they know nothing of maps. They do not realize that the eastern boundary of NATO has moved more than 1,000 miles to the east and closer to the heart of Russia since the Berlin Wall fell. Once upon a time, NATO extended to the eastern border of West Germany. However, now NATO extends through what was East Germany, through all of Poland, the Baltic states of Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, all the way up to the gates of what some people call St. Petersburg and others will still call Petrograd or Leningrad. NATO has also absorbed other former Warsaw Pact nations or allies of Russia further to the south. Russia has every right to be anxious about Western penetration. She has been penetrated before, and in the 30s, the Western powers condoned and abetted Hitler's drive to the east, and that led to the slaughter of 20 million Russians. I don't have the energy to do the math, but Russia endured something on the order of a 9/11 a day for 3.5 years. But of course, the simplistic news media just tells us that Russia is evil, pure evil. Meanwhile, the Ukraine is exalted as something angelic. Americans, often ignorant of European history, sometimes imagine that every state between Germany and Russia was just a land of darling babushkas who made different varieties of potato pancakes. They do not understand that Nazism was much more than a German phenomenon. It was a European phenomenon, as all of Europe was smoldering with fascism. Romania, Bulgaria, Slovakia, Hungary, Croatia, and Vichy France were all allied with Hitler. The Baltic states were crawling with Nazis. The Ukraine wanted to be Hitler's obedient ally, but Hitler did not want them because he considered them racially inferior because they were Slavs. Also, the idea that Russian interference in the Ukraine is warlike and wrong betrays even more ignorance of history. Yes, Russia took over Crimea in 2014, but Crimea is over 80% Russian and has been Russian for at least 2 centuries and was only given to the Ukraine in the 1950s. But in the 50s, the Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union, which was dominated by Russia. Also, people will complain that there are Russian forces in the eastern Ukraine, and this proves that they're so monstrously aggressive. But most Americans don't know that most Eastern Ukrainians follow the Eastern Orthodox Church, as do Russians, and are somewhat alienated from the Western Ukraine, which is Roman Catholic. Now, if I have gone through some of this too rapidly, and if I've left out key things, it is because there is no time to teach my fellow Americans who study nothing but football and cheerleading in high school, and nothing but feminism and pseudo-intellectual masturbation in college, European history. In conclusion, let me reiterate that I detest Donald Trump. He has done many horrendous things to the economy and the environment, and most people are unaware of his transgressions because we are too busy talking about the gossipy and frilly part of politics. Ivanka's jewelry, Donald's orange hair, and other stuff makes our democracy sound and feel like a woman's lounge. I just wish the liberal opposition had a little bit more logic and intelligence instead of just the sleek, urbane, and polished user interface that masquerades as sophistication. And that concludes my 3-part essay on the great Trumpian role reversal. Again, this is David Gottfried. Thank you. Goodbye.